But that ain't my story. Life won't say sorry. No, you're destined for something higher. When it's all over, what you got to show for? Proving the devil is a liar. Rain against the window.
Yes, welcome back to the channel. We are live and alive. Yeah, let's talk the real. Yeah, listen, we got a lot to talk about, man. Make sure you lot like the video. Make sure you lot subscribe. If you haven't already, please put post notifications on when you do subscribe. And as always, yeah, just like the video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're gonna talk, man. Let's talk the real. Yeah, we got Vicky. Vicky's back.
What's the
Yeah,
word,
Vicky's
y'all?
back. What's
Happy
good,
New
man?
Year. We back another
Yeah.
year. You know, your favorite podcast. What's the word? How y'all
Yeah,
feeling?
yeah, man. We back, man. We back, man. I feel like obviously, I think the week before I was ill, and then last week I was just busy. So yeah, we're back now. We're back, and we're gonna talk, man, about love. You feel me? We're gonna talk about love. We're gonna have a few more people joining the panel very soon. Big up Stretford Gamer. We hear gang. Big up. And obviously you got
What's the word, Shepherd?
Vicky putting the fire emojis in the chat as well.
Yeah. Boo, boo, boo.
So we're gonna wait soon. We're gonna wait for a few more people, but we'll just warm up for now. Vicky, how you been, man? Tell them what you've been up to as well. Promote your thing as
Man,
well. You feel
I've
me?
been so busy, y'all. You know, it's New Year, new vibes. Everybody's on their grind. I started streaming this year, so you know, follow me on Twitch at Vicky Sweets. I stream 5M, but I'm gonna tap into a few other things for sure. I'm also open to suggestions, but you know, I'm always locked in with Guapo, so you know, it's big 607 shit.
Oh yeah,
I be
yeah. So
flying in and out of there.
for those that don't know, Guapo is my character in on 5M basically. So
Yeah.
obviously that's what all the American dogs. That's what they call me, Guapo. You feel me? So
Guapo.
you feel me? Yeah. But yeah,
Guavoski.
Guapski, you feel me? But yeah, man. So make sure you guys check out what Vicky's doing. She started streaming on Twitch, so make sure you lot go and follow that on follow her Twitch as well. And I'll promote it throughout the video, and I'll probably put a link in the description as well. You feel me? But yeah, how you been feeling, man? Let's have a little warm up. Like since the last time you've been on the show, so now what have you been up to? Like what have you got? What are your plans for this year as well? And let's let the chat warm up a bit. We're a bit earlier than normal, so it might take a few moments for people to join.
No, that's fine. We
yeah.
can get a little bit personal too. So you guys haven't seen me in a little bit. You know, life been lifing. You know, but it's all about taking those lemons that life tosses at you and make it into lemonade. So that's really what I've been taking time to do. And like you could ask Rhino himself, like ever since the new year started, I'm like, I'm back and I'm better. So this year, I'm eating every plate I could get. You hear me?
Yeah,
Every
yeah, yeah.
opportunity,
Word.
I'm eating up. Like, I'm taking that minor setback and having a major comeback. But that's what New
Yep,
Year's are meant for, new
yep,
vibrations. So,
yep.
everybody in the chat, I know y'all probably on the same type of timing, whether it's losing weight, whether it's hitting certain goals, like, make sure y'all do that. Y'all could accomplish whatever. Y'all just gotta step. Like, make sure y'all stepping on next, doing what y'all
Hundreds,
supposed to do. Y'all gonna get
hundreds.
that in the bag. How you been feeling right now? What you been up to? Are you feeling any
Um,
better?
yeah, yeah. So obviously I was ill 2 weeks ago, a little bug, but that's cool. Other than that, I've just been planning and plotting in the background. You feel me? Just planning and plotting, working on a few things musically as well. One of our artists is going to be dropping his first single. I would say at some point, probably the end of next month. I don't want to put a mad time on it just in case it's delayed. But yeah, some point at the end of next month. If you watch my other shows, the intro, that's the artist M Lizzy. He's going to be dropping his first single of the year. Obviously, he dropped music back then before, but that was early times. Now he's kind of evolved and the music has developed and whatever. So yeah, look out for that as well. Anything to do with the music I play on my channel, whether it's on the intro, like for example, the intro of the countdown, that's made by Firms. Firms will be joining us soon. Firms and Rens, obviously. And then the intro of the actual show, that's Becky as well. That's another one of our artists. Firms and Rens on the beat again. So everything's all in house as well. So look out for the new music that we got coming, you feel me? And yeah, I've got a lot of topics that I want to start talking about as well. I want to talk about the music industry. I want to do some other topics within the music industry, talking about the producer side to it, the artist side, the management side, and other people that are involved in the industry, you feel me? So there's a lot of other things that we're talking about. Big up Traps. Traps is in the building. What's
What's
good,
the
bro?
word, traps?
He's on mute. You're on mute, Traps.
Mute yourself.
Looking clean all the time.
Going
What's
on?
the
What's
word?
going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
So,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
yeah. Yeah, so that's Vicky, and obviously Traps has been on the show for a few weeks now as well. Yeah, man. So listen, let's get it kicked off, man. So I'm gonna ask you straight, Vicky, since you haven't been here for a while, do you
Jesus.
think, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you can disclose whatever you want to disclose. Like, I give everyone the floor to keep their personal stuff to themselves. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
whatever you want to disclose, what do you think about love in general? Like, do you think love's blind?
Yes. Hell yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Um,
you're straight in for that one, yeah. No
yes.
question.
Okay, I love love. I'm like a sweetheart. Everybody knows that. I love love. But yes, love is blind. And that shit is damaging. It's okay
Okay, talk
though,
about
cause
it.
it's all right. So like, what didn't you have a segment about love and jail and stuff like that?
Yeah. I want to do a part two because I know you want to be involved in
Yes.
that one as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I could tap into that for a little bit. So I
Go
was in a
on.
relationship for like 6 years, since
Oh,
I was
okay.
13 to like
Yeah.
19, 20. So that's a
Okay.
big
Okay.
chunk of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course there was the ups and downs, but I was blind to a lot because I was so in love with this person. Like this is the person, my first love. Like we grew up
Mm-hmm.
together, we grew together, matured together. Um, but he was in and out of prison, and like to the point it seemed like he wasn't learning his lessons, but I loved him so much that I was kind of looking past that. I wasn't
Okay,
thinking
because that's
about
what I
what's
was gonna
better for
ask.
myself.
I was gonna ask you into what did you think he was blind to? But yeah, go on, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Mm,
wasn't learning his lesson. It's like he was very into the streets, which is understandable. I
yeah.
kind of want to say it was like a product of our community type of thing. Like we lived in the
Okay.
projects together. Like he was just trying to get it how he lives, but he was just moving very sloppy, and it's like you don't understand that as you grow, you can't make the same mistakes that you make in high school anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Facts.
But
Facts.
me
Yeah.
being so in love, like I was completely ignoring all that. And I wasn't
Okay.
thinking about bettering myself. Like I was like financially supporting him, mentally supporting him, emotionally
Oh.
supporting him to the point like I wasn't able to mature until I left that relationship. So it had its ups and downs that made me, but it's also some that like kind of affected me negatively until I separated myself. So yes, love is very
Okay.
blind, but I'll tap into that more that segment because that's gonna be juicy. I'll give y'all all the tea. We could open up with that one. I got no issue.
Okay.
So that'll be
Okay.
fun. But
Okay.
I still love the love though. Like I don't let like heartbreaks taint my heart, if that makes sense.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
you can't let that do that because that's how everybody gets fucked up in the head, and now everybody's gonna be heartbroken. So
Yeah. Word for
yeah,
real. So, what
so
would you say was valuable lessons that you learned from that situation, being blind, and what do you think you was open? What do you think your eyes were open to after? So, obviously, you were blind during the relationship. Once you came
mhm.
out of it and your vision was clear, what do you think you saw that you couldn't see before? Obviously, you said that he was trapped in a cycle when it was a thing where you were kind of being delusional in terms of supporting it and just
Yeah,
not leaving at the right time. But what else do you think held yourself back during it that you could have been doing that you wasn't doing because you were blind?
man, thinking being selfish is wrong. Being
Yeah. Like putting
selfish,
yourself first. Yeah, okay,
yes,
yeah.
being
Mhm.
selfish isn't always wrong. And I'll tell y'all that, like, sometimes you really got to put yourself first. And when it comes into a relationship, I wouldn't even say put yourself first, but at least like pair yourself while supporting your other, if that makes sense. Like don't put yourself
Mhm.
like before, but don't put yourself after either. But make sure you're like at least giving yourself the equivalent attention you're giving to another person. That's like what I learned. And then what was stopping me was exactly that too, like just not being selfish enough, to be honest.
Okay. So do you think that career wise, like you kind of missed out on certain things because you was too focused on him, kind of thing?
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for sure. 10 out of 10. Um, I also paint. I don't really paint as much anymore, but I used to paint when I was younger to the point that like I've had New York galleries try to get my work in there, and I've been back home trying to support them, or like his insecurities while he's in prison also stopped me from doing multiple
Okay.
things as well, like because he wasn't
Yeah.
able to be there and like see me do what I'm supposed to do. So,
So he was jealous. There was some
yeah,
jealousy there.
yeah, jealousy, insecurities, but he was also supportive at times too, but it was just more so picky choosy. Like whenever he wanted to support, he'd support. Whenever he didn't want to, he didn't
So
want
he was
to. So,
selective. He was selective with the support he
yes.
was giving you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a lot, man. I feel like you can learn a lot when you come out of that situation. You feel me? Big up Mackie in the building. You know, she says,
Hi,
"Hey guys, what's good?"
Maki.
And she's saying, "Yes, Vicky." She's straight away for the females. There, she's back in the females lane.
Yeah,
And she's saying, "What?
Maki.
Don't put them in the pedestal." Mackie, elaborate. What do you mean? Don't put them on the pedestal? I want to know. I want to know a bit more details of in what context to what context you're talking about. You feel me? But yeah, nah, Vicky, it's good. It's nice for you of you to share that. You feel me? Like, and
Mhm.
like I hear a lot of situations like that. I've had a few friends that like I've got a lot of female friends that I would give advice to. Even if I don't know them that well. Because I always used to do my little kind of talks on Snapchat. But my talks were more based on like motivation, my experiences of the industry and music stuff and all of that. But then certain
Mhm.
people will come to me and say, "Oh, Rhino, yeah, I know it's not to do with music, but truth say, this is what happened to me. What do you think and whatever?" So there's a lot of females that I know that have been in situations where their judgment is so clouded because they're so wrapped around the person that they care about. So they start to lose themselves. You feel me?
Yes.
Maybe it's a thing where they used to, you know, treat themselves to trainers every month for shoes or handbags or whatever, but now they don't look after themselves no more. They wanted to
Mhm.
start going gym or they wanted to, go into a new career. Like, let's say, for example, it could be like doing a sport or fitness or, anything to do with like looking after yourself or your self goals, or it could be a new job, it could be YouTube, it could be anything. So because you're so wrapped in the situation. Traps, what are you saying, man? What do you think, man? Like, love, do you think love is blind, whether or not you've been in love or not, or just what you see or your experiences from what you know? Like, what do you think, bro?
In what sense though? In the sense of, if you meet someone, do you
Yeah,
just like, how do you feel about them? It's just basically whoever they are is whatever they are, or is it when
yeah, yeah,
you're in love? Do you tolerate certain things because you don't
yeah.
see it?
Both. Yeah, both. Both. It's nice that you broke it down like that as well, so people could understand.
I mean,
Fretzino says, Love is deaf or blind."
love.
If
I
you
don't
want to
think.
join the chat, Fretz, let me know, bro.
I don't think. I don't know, man. I feel like, you see, with love, when you're talking to someone, when you meet someone, yeah. I don't know if love's blind, like, because there's always one person that's always more invested than the other. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
okay.
so I don't know, like on face value, like nah, I'd say some people can fall in love with someone over a period of time, but they just like certain things that they do. And but in terms of being blind, like when you're in love and you tolerate something, yeah, definitely, man. Do you know, I don't think it's love though, but that's the thing. I actually don't think it's love.
Yeah, go on, break it down, bro. Break it down, because I
don't
like the
think it's
perspectives
love,
you
bro.
come with.
I think that people just get themselves into situations where they're comfortable. Yeah, they don't like change, because people don't really like change. You know what I'm saying? Like any little changes people don't really like. You know what I mean? But I just feel people get themselves into situations where it's comfortable. It's a bit of codependency. Like you give me this, I give you that. It works for me. But you know what I mean? Because people sit in relationships for years that they're not happy in, but they're still there. Like, so I don't know if it's, I don't know. Sometimes it is love, but I don't know. I feel like a bit of comfortability creeps in there. A bit of like, a bit of self-doubt creeps in there. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I really don't know about love being blind, man. I just think that,
You think that the person maybe thought they were in love, but realistically, maybe respectfully, not delusional, but they were just blinded to, what's the word? Not blind. People, go on.
People see what they want to see in it. Like, do you know what I mean? Everyone sees everything through a different set of eyes. So what looks like something, that's why everyone always has a different opinion, and people always see things people always see the same thing, but they see it differently. Do you know what I mean?
So what one person would have thought it was love, another person would think, nah, bro, I just, you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Like, some of my I mean, I've seen situations with like my friends and things like that where like one of the guys might be, yeah, do you know what, I think I love this one or whatnot, and then another girl will be like, yeah, do you know what, he's nice, he's this, that, and the other, but he's cool, but like I don't think I love him like that. You know what I'm saying? But they're still there for like years. So I don't know, man. I just think that I always say love is not enough in it. I say love is just, I don't care what no one says here. Love is not enough. Yeah.
Oh, and why? But, talk about it.
Because, bro, you can love a psychopath, bro. You could love a psychopath, bro. And you know what I mean? If you love them, you know full well how it's gonna go. But some people just think they can change people. They can change situations.
Yeah. We got to talk about that as well.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people do not know what love is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they know what love is. I think
that's why I've put there. What is love? I've put it there still. I put it there.
They experience feelings, yeah. They have feelings for people, strong feelings, yeah. But love, like, you have to remember, yeah, everyone's love is their interpretation. Do you know what I mean? So a man might tell you what to do, but he feels that he's telling you that for the good of you, of yourself. But you might see it as he's being controlling. But in his mind, you're thinking, I just want the best for you, and I don't want you to do that because I know how it ends. But some people might see it. So I just feel like there might be feelings, but love, like, you know, like when you love, like everyone's just about love. Like people are saying when they have their kids, they love their kids. Like your mom, your dad, like that kind of love there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not, I don't know from my experience, because I don't have them kind of feelings for people like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't get me wrong, I can like you. I can have feelings for you, but in terms of love, like unconditional love and things like that, I feel like people force it a lot, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what is love to you? Like, how would you know that you like love somebody?
I mean, I gauge you, like, I love my mum and my dad and that. Like, you know what I'm saying, if I don't feel them kind of ways about you, then you know what I'm saying. I don't think I love you like that. I feel like I like you a lot. I feel like I appreciate you, but in terms of love, like, I feel like with love, you have to be able to, when you love someone, you have to be able to tell them the truth, no matter what. You have to be able to always want what's best for them in every situation, even if that means, telling them things that they don't want to hear, or you have to be there for them no matter what. You have to sacrifice. You have to be willing to make sacrifices, but not be stupid. Like when you love someone, you have to love the relationship as well. You have to love where it's going. You have to love what the possibilities. You know what I mean? You can't be in a relationship and you love someone, but at the end of the day, deep down inside, you know that this is not going to go nowhere, because that can't be love in my mind. There can't be.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, love is the thing. Like, when I feel, well, my definition of love would probably be like, when you meet someone, you connect on a level where there's no, where how do they say it? Like the options are no, like the possibilities are endless. Do you know what I mean? It's like you could say to someone, all right, listen, I want to move to here and start a new life with you. Okay, let's do this. Like, that can happen. Do you know what I mean? It's not you're thinking to yourself like, and that's why I tell you love's not enough, because at the end of the day, if you love someone and they're not right for you, you can still love them. And it can go left. And I feel that's how a lot of people get their hearts broken, you know. I'll be honest. I feel like they get their hearts broken because they sign up for things that are not sustainable, bro.
Yeah. Now you've broken it down in a good way, man. I appreciate that, man. Let me go through the comments and then we're gonna get threats in as well. Big up Jay in the building too. Let me see. What's up, man? Let me go through these comments and then. So Mackie says here, she said everyone's definition of love is different, and then here she says it's because. So she's explaining the whole pedestal thing. It's because we put them on a pedestal. We end up showing out for them more than we would for ourselves. And 9 times out of 10, we're in love with their potential and not who they actually are.
Exactly.
Big up Bath Time in the building.
Yeah.
Frets was in the comments now. He's in the chat as well. He's saying they probably didn't know how long the honeymoon phase lasted for. Mackie says you have to be okay with the ugly things. Yep. Yeah, man. Frets, man. Obviously, you don't have to disclose any personal stuff, but whatever you just think in terms of your opinion, what are you saying? What do you think about what Trap said and what Vicky said as well? And just what's your take on it, man?
Obviously, I understand where they come from. Everyone's got their perspectives of how they define what love is. But you see, with love, in certain aspects, it kind of comes down to both parties compromising in the situation, because you can be with someone and you can have love for them and that, but then if they're not going to meet you halfway, where they're going to have to compromise certain things that restrict their boundaries, you ain't going to really match with them after all. Like people see the potential and everything, but then the potential is going to go to waste after some time, innit? So I feel like, obviously, with some people, it depends on how the relationship flourishes, innit? Some people might be a friend to the other party doesn't realize that's what they want, or it could just be a genuine thing where it happens naturally. But most cases, you have to compromise. So if one's not willing to, especially in this day and age, with how like females want certain things and how men don't want certain things, or let's say the guys want certain things, it's kind of like it comes to a hindrance of what is like true love. Obviously, if you ride the person through potential, I get that, but potential always wastes at the end of the day. No one ain't really gonna hold out. It's like saying, cool, oh yeah, I got the tools to build this house, and then you're like, yeah, no, I believe you can do it, and you see the traits, you see everything, but then 6 months goes down the line, a year goes down the line, I haven't done nothing to improve or build a house. You're gonna be like, okay, cool, yeah, you said you can build a house, but we ain't seen nothing. So what are we doing here? There's no belief no more. So it just comes down to how like both parties compromise, really.
Yeah. Compromise, I think, is definitely something that, you feel me? Like when you see the married couples talking about how marriage is not easy and there's so many sacrifices that you have to make, whether some negative things happen or even change of just career. You know, you might be used to seeing somebody every day in the daytime, and then maybe their job changes and you don't see them no more. That can build up over time and stuff like that as well. Big up Jay in the building, man.
Hey.
What are you saying, man? What's your
Hi,
perspective?
Jay.
Like I said,
Hello.
You don't have to get too personal, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, go on.
You know what? I think, so for me, I heard what Chaps was saying, yeah, but I'm on that whole kind of thing. That love you have for your mother, your kids, is always going to be different to the one to your partner, innit? So I don't even, that's like that for me is a different type of love. It's that love that if you've got that family network there, and you've had a healthy kind of growing up kind of childhood, you're going to have that love, yeah, irrespective, and you're going to know how to give it to your children, show it back to your parents, etc. But you see, when it comes to, for me, when I look at love, I'm just like, again, it's about what you know about healthy relationships for starters, how you
Yeah.
term healthy relationships. Do you understand? So certain
Yeah.
people feel it's love and it's so toxic, but that's all they know. That's all they've been shown. That's what they're used to. So again, if let's take it, if someone's been in a relation, if someone has seen their parents kind of argue back and forth, and they go, "Oh, but I love you."
I think she's cut out there. Let's see you give her a few moments. But even just to carry on what she's saying, I feel like, yeah, it could be what you've been exposed to, what makes your understanding of love. So like
And then it's
like Jay
like, oh,
was
okay,
saying.
well,
Oh, sorry, Jay, you cut off
hello.
from
Oh, sorry.
parents
Sorry
arguing. Yeah, go
for a
on from there.
second.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes, your parents are arguing, and you think, oh, okay, that's a healthy thing because they love each other. Do you understand? I think love is too easily thrown about. Like, people are happy to say, I love you. And you get, you like, even in friendships, you go, yeah, love. Actually, do you know what love means? Are you going to have my back when chips are down? Are you going to love me irrespective of my crap behaviors? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
we throw out the words too easily without people putting in the work to earn love. So like love can't be just something that you dish out willy-nilly. There's work that people tend to have put in to kind of gain that. Do you understand? So again, if you kind of look at the love that you talk about for parents, you have that love for your parents because they invested in you, they believed in you, whatever. Do you understand? They showed you that kind of care and whatever. So that's where that love comes from. But when it comes from a partner, if you've got somebody that literally kind of pours into you, or again, like literally is your cheerleader, makes you feel good, all these things, then that's where people start to go, oh, now this makes me feel good. I think this is love. This is what I think love looks like. This is how I think love feels. So I think, again, with what society does now, and everything is so instantaneous. So you've got Snapchat, you've got, that the dating apps and whatever. So it's like find love now. It's like, but can swiping, but can you though? Do you understand? Because again, love is more than just swiping, isn't it? So people are swiping for what? What are we swiping for? Because a lot of it.
She lost reception again. Yeah, I think she's lost reception. Let's give it a few secs, see if she gets back in there. Frets,
Don't you feel like
there's
three different types of love?
Pardon?
Don't you feel like there's 3 different types of love though? Obviously the family orientated love that you get growing up with your family, then you get your first puppy love of like when you're out in society, then you get that one true love that you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It hits in doses.
Yeah.
It's the maddest one. Puppy love is where you get the toxic love can seep in. Because puppy love, your head is twisted. You forget. Do you understand? You don't even know how to control that love. Do you understand? All you just know is that you feel that, what is this feeling? I love this person. Oh my gosh. Like, what is this? And that's it. So you will make stupid compromises. Do you understand me? That don't even kind of measure up for the actions or whatever. But when you see puppy love, but it's also a sweet love, because I feel like that's where you learn to kind of put your boundaries and you set your boundaries. Like your puppy love will teach you a lot. So again, it's like, oh, actually, I can't give like this all the time. You understand? There has to be some form of balance.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I think the key thing that I think Jay mentioned is the experience someone goes through and what's normalized. And then, because if it's normalized for so long, it's not your fault you're blind to it, because it's a reality, especially when you watch things and they say, oh, love's about sacrifices and all of that. And then if you grow up seeing parents argue or whoever arguing, but then they're cool 1 minute and then it's back and forth, that's going to become that person's understanding from their perspective that, okay, you know what? There's going to be ups and downs. And that could blur the lines to what toxic traits, what's toxic and stuff. But go on, Frets. Go on.
No, but to be fair, that's actually correct, because I've seen my parents go at it. And then I've seen them be cool. And then from that, I've learned that, right, okay, cool. When there's turmoil in the house, obviously, if we're not feeling each other right now, we're probably not going to talk to each other, but we're going to conform in the house and coexist. And eventually, it'll gradually get back. Some people's upbringings, they didn't get to see that. So they might have seen their parents clash, and then one parent's gone out, and then that's them. They just have that abandonment issue where, okay, let me just abandon the ship and cut out type of thing when they're growing up in their own relationships, when they're seeing their parents argue. Because for me, if in relationships, we can have arguments if that's going to be the case. It's inevitable that you have arguments. You can have an argument over something dumb, like over like a TV program you're both watching and something, but it's how you lot battle it. And for me, like, yeah, okay, cool, there's ups and downs, but we ain't going to go to the over extreme where it's toxic, where we're throwing shit at each other, we're in each other's face, or we're crossing boundaries and getting all physical. And that's not really been my lane of things. Obviously, I've seen the physical side of it, and obviously that did put trauma into me, but then that's something that I took that I don't want to follow. Do you get it?
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Mackie here says, everyone wants to talk about ride until the wheels fall off. But if your partner was to end up having an accident and he or she is disabled now, are you still riding? What do you think about that, Vicky, man? Do you feel like if you was in a situation with somebody and their circumstances change, what do you think? Do you think everyone has to be there? Do you think it's only marriage where you have to be there for some? What's your opinion on Mackie's comment?
No, I feel like Mackie's completely right. I feel like if you're using the word love, it's just like she said, that comes with the ugly. If you're in love with someone, you never know what to expect in life. For example, they could be here today, gone tomorrow. They could be perfectly fine today and disabled tomorrow. If you love that person, yes, you're riding till the wheels fall off regardless. You're going to be there for that person. You're going to get them back to health. If not, you're going to ride that till death do you part. And that's without marriage too. But you know, when you're married as well, I feel
You
like
reckon?
Well, first, you disagree.
you
I
disagree.
disagree, bro. Yeah, cool. You see, if
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
jail. You see, if it's jail, like your man goes to prison, fair enough. That's his decisions and that, and you can bow out of that, and that's your decision. But then it's gonna come to a time, cool. Let's say your partner loses a limb, a leg, and that, or something where it's kind of hard for you. It's gonna, like, the first few months you ride it, okay, you have the sympathy for it. But then let's see your peers living life, and then they're kind of judging your life, and then you're not trying to be that person that compares your life to other people's. But then you get into that place, you're gonna bow out of that gracefully just for your own well-being, because you're gonna see it as there's nothing we can do. Like, I have love for you. That's where that saying comes in. I do love for you. I have love for you. But then I don't think we can go. We're just good as friends, and I'll support you. Then the support comes, like, it declines. Like, you're not gonna help someone that turns into a vegetable.
That's what I'm saying about love.
Embarrass.
That's what I'm saying about love. This is why people don't know.
No, that's
Hey,
to
at the
me.
end of the day, right? If your circumstances change, yeah.
Put it
Like,
this
say
way:
for instance,
would your man, if he was to turn to a vegetable right now?
But that's conditional love. Like,
Exactly.
you understand me? I love you. I love you. Only if you stay healthy. Like, I feel like that
Right.
there is so toxic that then you can be like, you know what? I love my wife if she stays this certain size. But you got to remember when certain men are like that. So that she might put on a bit of weight when she has kids, and then it's like, oh, now I'm not attractive. Wow, but she just had your kids. So again,
do you know
that's what I'm saying. For
I
me,
feel like
it's conditional love. Like it's that's what it
100%.
is.
you see this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah? It's like, you see, people say conditional love, yeah, but you have to look at it like this shit. Say, for instance, you did lose a limb. Yeah? Surely, yeah, you should love that person enough to think about it logically and be like, you know what, yeah, this is too much, you know. This is too much for someone to take on. This is not what she signed up for. She's never going to be happy. We're never going to be happy here. You know what I mean? So I love this person enough to say, you know what, this is my problem, yeah, at the end of the day. Things have changed, yeah, and I just want you to, I love you enough, I want you to be happy. So this is not going to make you happy, because it's not making me happy. I'm not going to lie. I've lost my limb. I'm going to be traumatized. I'm going through changes. I'm not going to be the same person that I was. Like, so that's what I'm saying. That love has to go. It's a two-way street at the end of the day. And if you, like, for instance, if I went jail and I had a girl, I would tell her, listen, you need to go live your life, because I'm out here doing what I need to do, and I'm here now. And at the end of the day, I don't want wires getting crossed, and I don't want things to happen and you have to lie about it. So you get me? Like, you have to be realistic with love. And the truth is, if you do end up losing a limb or something, you have to be realistic. This is what I'm trying to tell you about love. Love is not just a thing, yeah, I love you and I'll just do anything. Yeah. You have to be realistic about things, because if you're not, and you think, oh, it's unconditional love, all right, cool, you lost the limb, all right, but you're on loads of medication, all you do is sleep, yeah, and it's still the love will still die regardless, because it's not the attention, and the situation is not there like that anymore. So
But what
you have
if?
to be realistic.
I
with
don't
it.
think it
But
does. I think it
yeah,
may change, but I don't think it does. It
and
literally, if you've loved someone and you've had this whole amazing, beautiful relationship, and now this person isn't who you first met, like, of course, again, like, okay, things change, but you adapt, right?
mhm.
So again, it's a I love you just until you
Yeah, but
look
what if you
like this
can't adapt?
today. If you didn't look like that, but it was yeah, I'm not gonna
See, that
lie.
laugh
I
even
think
shows.
that
What if you physically can't adapt? What if you are incapable? Like, I'm talking about,
It's
like,
impossible.
your mental state
it's not
does not allow
impossible.
you,
It's not
yeah,
impossible.
allow you
Listen,
It's not.
if
to
the
live
get
through
if you
this
okay,
thing.
put it this way. Example, 1 second, traps. Example, yeah, you and your partner, but your partner's just a tad bit of more of the breadwinner, and he's the physical. Obviously, he's a man, so he's got the physical masculinity with him. So he does the little bare minimum, like take out the bins, bring up the shopping, and that. He's disabled now. He can't do shit. Now he's lost his job because he can't go to work because he's disabled now. The bread's coming in slow. It's your money that's taking over. What are you gonna conduct with that? You're gonna leave him after some time because it's gonna be a burden. You're bringing the shopping. You have to look after him. Let's say, and if you don't have kids, you're definitely running off. If you have kids, you might stay. Am I lying?
But again, no, and again, this is what I'm saying. It
If you
depends
got kids, you
because
might stay.
I don't know that there are people who do that. Like again, and this is it. So I've worked with a different array of people, yeah. And again, where certain people, their partners may have
Can you hear me?
developed Alzheimer's. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Your
Oh
visuals
yeah.
are a bit
Something like that, but yeah,
laggy, Frets,
that's
but
what I
we can hear
believe.
you.
If
I can hear you, Jay, as well. Yeah.
that and it's a bread situation, then one party can't provide no more as how they used to. The female party,
Yeah,
is
you've
just
cut.
gonna feel
Yeah,
like,
go on.
what am I doing? This is a bit too much for me.
So
And
are you
just for
saying
the
so,
normal
Frets?
physicality of things and just getting things done and their mental health amongst everything, and then you're looking after
So
two
that's what I'm
people
saying,
now.
Frets. So do you
It's
think?
gonna be
So you're
difficult. You're
saying
gonna
that
back out
people are
gracefully.
allowed? Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Do you feel like people? So I can see a bit of a split point of view. So one half is once you know you're in love, you need to ride no matter what. The other half is okay. It depends on how much tolerance someone has. But cool. Let's say the person. I'm going to add another layer to it. Marriage. So Frets. Do you feel like once you're married to somebody, it doesn't matter what happens, do you agree that you have to ride to the rules fall off? Or do you still feel like the tolerance will kick in? Do you think people have to override that tolerance? So that's what I want to know. At what level do you now agree that, okay, cool, me and you are at this, you and whoever, okay, the two people in question are at a certain stage, they need to ride for each other. What stage do you think that is? Do you think there's any stage for that? Because Vicky thinks that even before marriage, it doesn't matter. You have to ride. When do you feel
Okay,
like it's appropriate?
so let me pause right there. So
Okay, go on, Vicky. Yeah.
I'll be the good balance, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not technically saying that you have to, because nobody technically has to do anything, and that's kind of where I understand the guy's point of view. But I also understand the conditional love. But I also want to put myself in the balance where it's like you don't have to, but if you love somebody, I feel like you would try. And even though it will be harder, for example, prison is based off your own choices or unfortunate events. When it comes to being disabled or something that's like unlikely to happen, and now you're put in a place where, okay, it's either you or them, are you willing to try enough to be like, okay, I know this is not a place where I want to be, but because I love you, I'm going to try to be there for you. And if it gets
All
too
right,
much,
cool.
at least we could talk something out.
All right, cool. So here, Mackie says you don't have to do anything, but when you get married, you sign vows till death do you part. So when you're married, don't you have to ride to the end because you're now married? Isn't there now an obligation that you've signed? You've said your oaths, you said your vows, and you've said you're going to be there till death do you part. So doesn't that at that stage, don't you have to be there to the end? That's
Yeah,
what I'm
at that
asking.
stage, I feel like you have to give your 100%. But if your 100% is not enough, what more can you do? You know, because
Okay.
it's kind of like, for example, what Trap was saying. He said that he would choose to let his woman go if he was in a state where he feels like he's gonna be selfish to keep her around, if that makes sense. And Trap, correct me if I'm wrong. But as a woman, it's like, okay, I'm not going to leave you in a state where you're lonely and going through something either. You know, especially if I do love you. But when it comes to marriage, it is a tough trick because it is death do us part. So it's like
Yeah.
you still have to give the 100% compared to like if you were dating and you'd be like, okay, I could try to adapt, but if I can't, then for me, I'm able to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Let me get through these comments quickly, and then I'm going to hear what Traps has to say. Mackie
That
says, "Yeah,
sounds
that
good
is
in
fine."
theory, but in practical, that's not the case.
Yeah, we're gonna get onto that. Hold that thought for a second. Yeah, you should never claim you love somebody until you know you'd love them through whatever gets thrown your way. I'm not saying you have to be okay with it or force yourself to stay in that situation. But if you love that person, you should naturally want to stay. Basically, what Vicky's saying. Big up Bristol, my dog, another female from the US. Gonna get her on the show soon as well. What's good, man? And she's also in the city as well. Obviously, everyone knows me as Big G, Big Guapo in the in District 607. So she's also there. So if you lot want to venture into gaming or just trying a different roleplay experience, make sure you download 5M, you download GTA, and it's a whole different world. But we'll talk about that another time. But big up Bristol as well. Yeah, but Mackie's saying you don't have to do anything. She's saying, my good sis Vicky. And she also says here, you should never go do that vow if you feel like there's a chance that your love could be conditional. Frets, what are you saying? And we're gonna get Traps in. What are you saying?
I feel like, yeah, man. I personally feel that whole ride to the rules for love only makes sense if both parties have a threshold. So if you got a family, like a kid with that person, that's gonna make sense. But if you're not with them like that, or if you're freshly married, the honeymoon phase of that marriage could be a couple of years. People get married for like 5 years and divorce, because like you never know. But if you got a child with that person, that's where you can kind of where the love comes unconditional, because that's the father of your child, that's the parent of your child. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to just being partners, and it depends on what stage you're at in life. Let's say like you've done all the stuff that you've done in your 20s and you want to settle down and just be relaxed. Yeah, you can kind of conform into the unconditional love for someone and riding with them to the walls fall off. But then are you where you want to be at life?
Okay, so what if you're like 20 years into a marriage though?
20 years?
Yeah, like say we're like deep into a marriage. Like say you're 20 years into a marriage and all of a sudden, like Maki said, an accident, disabled, and now there's so much on your plate, kind of like what you guys are talking about, where it's like financially you're the supporter, mentally you're the supporter, in the household you're the supporter. What are you gonna do then? Is it still going to be okay? Can I handle this? And if I can't handle, I'm gonna leave, or are you gonna stick around and ride that bow out?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Well, if you've been in it 20 years deep, you might as well do another 20. Like if you 20 years deep, it's a long time. So
It
I'd
is.
be
It
real. If
is.
you've had 20 years of marriage, yeah, you should know what your capabilities are. Yeah,
I
you
mean,
should.
Right.
Yeah,
You should know what your capabilities are. If you've been around someone for 20, you should know. If you spend 20 years with someone, you should know what you're gonna do for them and what you're not gonna do for them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. So
So
if it's 20 years of a healthy, happy marriage, and then that healthy, you know what I'm saying, it kind of disintegrates because of like disability or something, like, are you gonna ride? Because it's like you said, like, what if it's 20 years and you can't handle that? What are you gonna do then?
I mean,
I guess that's my question. Like, if
I
it's
mean,
but
20 years and
on what
into it,
part
and
are
you
you, for the
can't handle
man or the
that, what are you
woman?
gonna do?
the reality of it is that if you can't, you're gonna leave, innit? That's the truth. You're gonna leave. Like it's not. like this is what people like. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, you see, the reality of life here is that these decisions are getting made right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people do
For
these things
sure.
and they live with these things. You know what I mean? So, like at the end of the day, like if you've had a healthy relationship, I mean, me personally, I would look at it like this. Like, I've been here 20 years. Everything's been great. She's had an accident. She's not the person that she used to be. However, yeah, I now would look at it like this. If the shoe was on the other foot, what would she do? And I feel like if I feel like we've been in love for 20 years, I'd have no doubt in my mind that she would do the same for me. So I know it's gonna be tough, and I know it's gonna be a long road, and it's probably not gonna be a great life, a great end to life or whatever. But I feel like I owe it to the relationship that I've had with someone for 20 years to see it through. But if you're talking about early stages, like a couple of years or 2 or 3 years, then it becomes a bit sticky, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, this is not like people treat like marriage like it's some gang membership ones, and they like you have to ride to the rules fall off, like otherwise you're a pagan and everyone's onto you. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. It's that, at the end of the day, you have to go with your men. Like, you have to look at it like this. What is the point of you loving somebody? Things change. They're now disabled or got mental health or whatever. And as a result, you sticking around and doing what you do has your mental health has deteriorated now, and you might have mental health problems. So now you've got 2 people with mental health problems. When if you love someone, you should be like, look, it's the same way like people say, oh, would you take a bullet for me? It's the same way would you say, bro, would you sacrifice? Would you save your mental health? Like, I would sacrifice my mental health for yours. You know what I mean?
Okay, so that's a mutual agreement. What if it's not mutual though? Like,
Well,
what
on the
if the
woman's
person,
side,
either or, like both of y'all could explain it either or. Like, what if it's
What do you mean?
not
Like,
mutual?
if someone's like, no, I want you to stay.
No. That's crazy. But what if more so it's like, okay, say if you want to let a woman go, but the woman is like, no, because I love you, I want to at least try. Would you let her try, or would you refuse to let her try?
no, I'll let her go. Do you know why?
Nah,
Because
you have to let her go, man.
There will be a point, yeah. Let's say, cool, she's doing everything, she's looking after me, but like I was saying before, her lifestyle's declined. Like, she feels like she's losing out on her life, because every female has this epiphany where they feel like if they're tied down in marriage or love, that's a long-term thing. They're losing out on their normal single life that they would have been living. So let's say now, cool, you've been looking after your partner who's disabled for how long now? It's been like 7 months into the year of it happening. You've had a break now. You really want to, like, your friends say, come out, let's go out to party. You go out to party just to have, a one-off. You see a guy pull up in a mad wagon, let's say a Maybach, Bottega, GLE, because we're in England with these type of cars, Lambo, whatever type of car, and he says the right things to you at the right time with your mindset how it is. And you probably exchange numbers, or you probably just tickle the fancy of having a conversation. You might sway off into that eventually, because then let's say the person's doing all the right things and it re-energizes the life that you once had. You're gonna feel confused, and then you're gonna be like, you know what? I feel bad because now I'm looking after him, but this guy's treating me right, and this is what I've been missing. So I might leave, because that would happen if a guy
I
comes to you at the right time when you're in the right space at the wrong time for you. He says the right words, you're gone.
Yeah, I definitely get it because, vulnerability is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely agree with you on that aspect, but I also feel like it's also based on the woman if you're going to give somebody that type of attention to show you like what you're missing out on. But previously when you said that, oh, they're missing out on life, wouldn't the word balance be placed into there? Because I feel like it's kind of like having a child, right? Say if you're like a single parent taking care of a child, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of similar to, well, I'm not even gonna say similar to an adult, but it's
No, you're
about
looking out for
fig-
someone. It is. It's
yeah,
kind of,
exactly. Yeah, so figuring out a way to be able to balance, okay, this is my personal life, where at least I know, okay, I can still go and enjoy myself, not be completely like weighed down by what's going on between me and my husband or me and the other person I'm in a relationship with, and making it to the point where it's like I'm not missing out on anything, but some things are compromised. Because kind of like Trap was saying, like sometimes things do have to be compromised, but it's also about balance. But it's at least like back to the topic where it's like, okay, at least we're gonna sit here and try if
Right,
we're
yeah.
whether we're 20 years in deep, 5 years in deep, we're gonna sit here and try, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Because it's just like we said earlier, we don't have to do shit. We're not obligated to do shit.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it's about
Let me get through
trying.
the comments quickly. Big up Noodle as well. Noodle is in agreement. Yeah. Big up my guy C Star as well, my broski.
Russ.
Some things. We got some things coming. We got some things. What I was talking about as well, funny enough, when I said there's a single coming out next month, C Star's the one that's going to be filming that music video as well. So look out for that as well. And Noodle says, sometimes I feel like people just don't know what they have, especially when with people dealing with all their trauma. Some people want to love but don't know how to. Yeah, and that goes back to what we said earlier.
Yeah.
What is love? What is the definition? There's different definitions,
Mhm.
and that's down to people's perspective and their reality and what they've gone through and their experiences. But what
You
I
have
want to
to-
ask you guys, go on, Traps, yeah, go on.
What you have
Go
to
on,
remember,
Traps.
love is a want, you know. It's not a need. Yeah, it's a want.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not a need. Like
Mhm.
so at the end of the day, right? What you have to remember, yeah, in certain situations, yeah, you have to remember that love is a want and there's needs. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, sexual encounters. That's a need. Yeah, you need to experience this. Like, this is something that is part of the circle of life. Yeah, this is one of your main objectives to be on the earth. So if you're in a relationship where someone is dysfunctional and can't do these things no more, that need is still gonna be there. But you could want to love them, but the need is always gonna overtake the want. So do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be you just have to be realistic. Yeah?
So
Love
what
is
about
a
Traps? So what
Okay,
about Traps?
wait,
So what about
wait,
people that
wait.
don't plan? What about people that don't plan to fall in love? Like they just liking somebody normally, and then all of a sudden they're just deep in it. And Noodles is in agreement. Yes, Traps. OMG, there are needs and wants. Yeah, man. Big up Noodles.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone wants to be in love in that. Everyone wants to be in love. Everyone wants someone to ride for them. Everybody.
And then
wants
Vicky,
someone
say
to-
what you're gonna say after as well. After
Yeah,
Traps.
because I'm itchy.
Everybody wants to be in love. Everybody wants to be able to trust their partner. Everyone wants their partner to be there for them through thick and thin. But the need is, I need to be happy. You know what? I need to go out tonight. I need to get out of this house. Yeah. This guy's not giving me, or this woman's not giving me what I want. Yeah, or what I need. Like these feelings that I'm having. I need to get that. You know what I'm saying? I need to get this. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, love is, I don't know, man. I just think there's a lot of misconceptions about love, you know. A lot of
Big up Noodle. She's saying, I agree with Vicky and Trap. Y'all I have to say it with you lots, you know, y'all both have key points. Go on, Vicky. Go on. What you say? Because you look like you're fired up right now.
Because it's just like we were saying, all right, there's different types of loves. And yes, there's wants and needs. But look, I'm going to hit y'all with some shit right now. There's a difference between wanting romantic love and needing love in general, psychologically, if that makes sense.
Break it
So
down.
it's kinda
Break it
like you
down.
said. Yeah. So, how do I say it? Okay. Romantic love is not a necessity, but it's like more of an asset, right? But however, love and like compassion are, I feel like, how do I say it? Necessities for like humanity to survive. Like, so in Connecticut, when we had the Sandy Hook shooting, right? I learned more so about psychological health, being attached to love, right? So when it comes to like, for example, hugs, something as simple as hugs could change somebody's mental health, believe it or not. And that's scientifically proven, right? But when it comes to like romantic love and just like, how am I saying this without being confusing though?
Go on. You're good.
I'm trying to break it down easier. All right. So romantic love is more so like, okay, the flowers, the gifts, the sexual intentions compared to like the compassion where it's like, okay, I care for you, I'm here for you, and being mentally there, if that makes sense. So like love on one side isn't necessary, but love also is necessary at the same time. Does that make sense, Trap? If that makes sense?
Yeah.
No, I hear
I
what
see
you're
where you're
saying.
coming from.
I hear what you're saying, and I think in some situations that applies, man. But like, how can I put it? Like, how can I try and explain it? Like, you see, like for instance, yeah, like without love, you won't die. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you won't die if you've never had love. No one ever loves you. It's not gonna affect you in terms of like your bodily health. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It might affect your mental health, but in terms of you living a day-to-day life, like you're not going to be able to not function, like not go to work because no one loves you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I definitely agree. But psychologically, you're gonna be fucked though.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you are, but like, yeah, for instance, like you have people like, I don't know, there's some people that go and join the army at 16. They grew up hard. They had a hard growing up. They joined the army at 16. They're in the army till they're 30 something. They come out, they buy a dog, and they live somewhere like remote, and they're just on that, walking the dog and hunting and shit like that. But that's obviously they haven't experienced that side of things. But to someone who has, they will look at that as that is fucked. Like, you've never experienced love. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's different strokes for different folks, but the needs will always be there. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, I see definitely where you're coming from. You lot have made some valid points. Listen, I'm going to ask a question. So let's end this on toxic traits, yeah? Toxic traits in men and women, yeah? So obviously when you're in a relationship, there's a lot of things that can arise due to circumstances, due to personality, etc., whatever. So I'm gonna add a little bit of fire, yeah? I wanna see how you guys react to that. Who's more toxic in these kind of relationships and love? Who do you think's the worst? Like, do you think it's even? Do you think women are worse? Do you think men are worse? In terms of relationships and being toxic, in whether it's an experience you guys went through or whether it's something that you've seen or just your opinion. Let me go through the comments quickly, actually. Big up Leon as well. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, Unleashed Sports. He says, you got to be honest with emotions, something us men find it hard to naturally do. Incoming. So he said he's joining as well. So let's see if he gets here in time as well. Big up C-Star. Everyone needs a form of love. The most important one is self-love. But what is life without love? And yeah, that goes to what Traps is saying, because it doesn't specifically have to be a relationship. There's love in different forms. So it's good you said that to kind of clarify what we're thinking. But yeah, going who I can't see who wants to speak. Does someone want to say something? Oh, I think so. Okay, go on, Traps. Yeah. After Traps speaks, then we're gonna go. I want to know what you guys' opinion with the whole toxic traits as well.
I think with love as well, yeah, like self-love is the most important one as well, because you need to be able to love yourself in order for you to even go down the road of loving someone. Because and I'm not talking narcissistic love.
Key.
I'm the best at everything. No one can't tell me nothing. I'm talking about I love myself enough to not do this. I love myself enough to not tolerate this. I love myself enough to trust what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of love that you need to have before you can even think about loving someone. Because if you don't love yourself, the things that you don't love about yourself, when you see certain things in somebody, you're gonna say, "What? That I don't love that. That's like me. I don't love that." So that there is it can be triggering. Do you know what I mean? So I think, listen, love. I feel like love it's a grey area, but at the same time, there's a lot of basics that you have to follow in order for it to get to the love situation.
Yeah. No, very, very important, very key that you said that. Still, like you have to understand yourself first before you go sharing out love to other people. And Firms, you seem like you're back in the building. What are you telling us, man? Then we'll get Leon in after. Yeah, man. What's your opinion, man? Big up Firms.
What on who's more toxic?
Anything you've heard since you've been AFK, or just in general, if you want to get into that toxic part as well. Wherever,
I don't know where to really start, man. But
you like you got a lot to say.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I've never been in love, you feel me? So I can only just talk about what I've heard. You know what I mean? But, we'll go off the whole toxic thing, innit?
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't say either side is more toxic. You feel me? I feel like it just depends on how the person is and what they've grown around and what they're like, you feel me, like what's around them and what they've seen, because at the end of the day, whatever, like, for example, I always say that parents play a big part in things like this, because growing up in a household where you might grow up with your mom and dad, and you've seen how your dad treats your mom, and you know certain things like that, it can sometimes even help men when they get older, or women when they get older, because they know what to expect. But also, again, it's not just when people like are from a household. There's even people without, like, from households that have single parents, you get what I'm trying to say, and they've been taught certain things, how to treat people. So I feel like it's just down to how the individual is, bro. At the end of the day, I would never ever pin it on, men are more toxic than women, or women are more toxic than men. I feel like it just depends on, you get what I'm saying, the individual.
I agree.
Leon, what are you telling us, man? Well, big up Leon in the building as well.
Well, go on, people.
Hi,
What's the
Leon.
question? What's good? What's good? What's the question? What? Who's more toxic?
So, yeah, toxic traits of men and
We
women.
love
And if
this
you want to
question,
give,
man. I swear this comes up every
I had
week,
to
man.
add a
Ryan
bit of
loves
fire
this
to it, but
question, yeah. He loves this
if
question.
anything, you can even talk about experiences of love as well. You can even dive into that as well. Like whatever you feel.
Who's more toxic? Firms. I can't say too much more than what Fern said, man. A lot of it's to do with your past traumas, man, and obviously you got conscious traumas and subconscious traumas. Do you get where I'm coming from? So like you got behaviors in the way you act based consciously, and sometimes you don't realize the traits, and you got to look in the mirror and work on them. So it could be another topic, but what was the other thing? Like women
in
are way
terms
more
of love.
Women are way more toxic anyway.
I was just gonna say that.
No, I'm joking. It depends.
No,
It's
you're not.
individual.
But Frets, is that what you're saying, Frets, though?
Men can be more annoying with the toxic traits, but women are more dark with it. Men can do the jarring thing like ring off your number in private, trying to get through to you, whatever. But women can like let that happen and then pop up one day, be like, "Hey, I miss you," make you get confused, and then next thing you know, they start giving you one word replies, and you're like, "Bro, what the hell?" And then they're just fucking you about, and then you're in a whirlwind of thinking, "Okay, was we good at one point? What's going on?" Then you're thinking, "No, let me just find out," and then you're ringing the person off, and next thing you know, "Oh my god, he's calling me so many times." And you know who it is, but then females know how to play the game more, because realistically, in this battle, females have control.
Why do you say that?
Because majority of the time, as men and women, like 9 times out of 10, we get our shit together in hopes, or not in hopes, but in the place to be like, okay, we're appealing to the general public, as in women. And so like like women like a guy that's well put together. So if you're not really put together, then you won't really have control. You can't get the woman that you desire or the woman that you're trying to get with. Women have the control of that. So that's where their toxic traits will come into play, because they know they're nice, but then they could put on a £7 outfit, put makeup on, and every man's gonna go crazy for them. And that's just even off of that, and they know that, but then they have the whole thing of that's what it's not really their thing, or the whole thing of, oh, like I love a guy that's lovey-dovey, but when you're trying to be like, I miss you, I want you back, oh my god, he's so annoying, that's toxic as well, because then you're gaslighting.
I just think that women, yeah, when like being toxic, yeah, it does depend on the person, but I feel like when a person is toxic, I feel like women have more options of toxicity than men. Do you know what I mean? I think like men's toxic is either abuse or manipulation.
Yeah.
Or abuse or manipulation, or that's it. I really think. But with a woman is more like they can be spiteful, they can be revengeful, they could be emotional. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of different things that a woman can do.
Malicious and spiteful, man.
In terms of being toxic, because I don't know, man. Like I don't know about everyone's toxic traits here, yeah. But my toxic trait is pretending that I'm not toxic. That's my toxic trait. Do you know what I mean? Like I pretend that I'm not toxic. Like no, I'm not on all that. But deep down inside, I'll be burning.
You know it,
yeah. Yeah. All right. But that's what I mean. But I don't know if that's a toxic trait, because I just won't react to things, even though I want to bang out. I want to say the most maddest thing to you, but I just think, you know what? Yeah, no answer is an answer. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to women. But yeah, I just think I don't know, man. But I just think that women are more women are more toxic, and they're becoming more toxic because of what they're exposed to, what they're seeing on social media, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? There's things that a woman will come and ask you for, not because she wants you to have it, but because she's seen someone else do it, and it's not even how they feel. Like with men, it's more of a personal thing. It's more of like what I want. This is what I want. It's not because I see man on social. Like if a man goes on social media and says like all you men should be paying for BBLs or whatever, yeah. A man's just gonna look at this like, this guy's a dickhead, because at the end of the day, what if we can't afford it? Or, like, we're gonna break it down, like. But a woman will see that and be like, yeah, that's right, yeah. And then they'll go and tell you, full well, you haven't got the peas, or that's not how you're set up, or that. But it will become a problem. Do you know what I mean? That you're not doing certain things for them, and it's. Yeah, I just feel like they've got way more options to be toxic.
But wouldn't that still be based on the individual, though? Kind of like what Ferns was saying. Like, isn't that kind of still like based on the person? That's not like a general woman thing.
Well,
though.
the mindset
No,
of the
I don't
person.
think it's a woman thing, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it does depend on the person. But
Okay,
when
okay.
you are toxic, when you are toxic, as a woman, you have more options when you are toxic. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, and as a woman, I could agree for sure. Okay. Yeah, I understand
Okay,
that.
you could agree, Vicky. Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why do you, why?
That's
Elaborate on
bringing
that, and I want to hear from
but
Jay as well.
yeah, so I feel like the options aren't greatly different, but I feel like women, how do I say it? We definitely do have options to be more toxic, kind of like who said it when they were like we can go out, put on makeup, get all the options, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Traps.
oh yeah, traps. He did say that. And I agree, but I feel like men could definitely do the same thing. It's just easier because, like, men hawk on women, if that makes sense.
Let me give you an example, right? Yeah. Let me give you an example of a woman, a different type of toxicity, like that a woman can do to a man, yeah, or but a man rarely can do it to a woman. It's like, well, they rarely do it to a woman because it's just not in the men's in a man. A man with pride doesn't do things like this. It's like a woman will go through a relationship with you, and it's a no strings attached relationship, but you know how it goes. Yeah, fun, and then the feelings come out, and then it starts getting a bit techie. Yeah, so a woman will now go and make friends with another woman that you are chatting to when they have no intentions of being friends with this person. They don't like them. Yeah, they see them as a threat. They despise them because of the relationship that you're trying to have with them. But they will sit there and befriend this person and be friends with them and tell them things and get them on side for it to ruin your. A man wouldn't do that. A man with pride is not going to say, right, if being Rhino after the sake, I'm not going to turn around and pretend to make friends with Rhino so he stays away from a girl. Men don't do that.
But men are okay. Men with pride, men with pride can, but men are still capable, and that's kind of where I'm saying. It's like I feel like it's still a mutual thing because men are still capable of doing what women could do. It happens rarely though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I still understand, but I just feel that with the options and that, because you have to remember, yeah, if you've got pride, yeah, there's certain things you're gonna do. You're gonna do, and obviously when you grow up, I'm old school, so I grew up with certain things that you can't be a bitch in this world, bro. Like in my household, you can't be a bitch. Like there's no question that any bitch movements, no snitching, none of that stuff. You're not allowed to do that.
Tough love, basically, mad tough
you know
love.
What I mean? It's not that, yeah. You know what I mean? So. For me, it's like, like obviously men do certain things, like they'll tell their girls what men are doing or things like that. I just think that if you're a certain man with a certain set of rules, or you've got a certain level of pride, you're not going to do certain things. I feel like when women are being toxic, they don't have no pride, they don't have no shame, they'll do whatever.
Okay, but I feel like that was still go for a woman too, though. Like, what about a woman with pride?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still a balance because it's like, just like you're saying, a man with pride. What about a woman with pride? It'd still be the same thing, would it not?
Yeah,
I think it's based. I think it's individual basis, isn't it?
Let
me give you an example for you. Say something, Jay. Yeah?
After Leon goes, then we hear from Jay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Obviously, like you lot are from London, innit? And I see a landscape as a general. Like obviously, everyone's individual. Obviously, Vicky sounded from abroad as well, innit? From US, I'm guessing, innit?
Yeah.
Like, where I'm from the Midlands, innit? So the landscape's a little bit different. Obviously, like, and my circle is a bit different as well. So, like, in my circle, we're not afraid to show all emotion. We're not afraid to be our 100% self. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's all I surround myself with. Do you get where I'm coming from? So, but if I was from London, I think I would move probably a bit different because the landscape's different down there as well, innit? Like, obviously, like, the way and the stories are here, girl move in London, not every girl, but some girl, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, is very masculine, innit? And we get that here, but I'm not exposed to it as much. Do you feel where I'm coming from?
You're
right?
from,
Yeah,
part of the UK.
like, you still got that, but they I just don't entertain that. I got the option of not entertain that because there's a whole load of other women who don't act like that. You get where I'm coming from? So it's like,
Exactly.
it's different. Do you get what I'm saying? So what, like, a lot of this toxic stuff, I don't expose myself to it, but at the same time, if I speak to my cousin lives in Hackney and that, some of the stories he's told me is crazy, innit? Do you know what I mean? So I hear where Traps is coming from as well. So yeah, go on, Jay.
Like, as a man, that you can't listen. None of my friends can come to me and tell me, oh, you know what? Yeah, I think she's seen someone. So man's gonna go stay in the bush outside and check it. You can't tell me these
No.
tell me these things. You can't tell me these things. Because I'm not hearing
because they can't tell you that.
It
doesn't mean it's not happening.
I know it's not.
It doesn't mean it's not happening.
No, I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just a bit of subject, but me, personally, like, I'm not hearing how you're feeling. I know you might be feeling the worst. You might be feeling emotional, like you're thinking, but I'm not gonna hear it. I'm just gonna be like, brother, brother, you can't. Are you mad, fam? You can't do that, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know, man, but I do agree. Like, men do these things, but I just feel that women they could just.
I feel like men will do it without saying, and women will say and still.
I feel like a man to be
open and certain.
Yeah,
but it's still mutual. Exactly.
Jay, what did you want to say? Let's hear from Jay for a bit, and then we're gonna.
I think, definitely down to the individuals, and kind of taking it back to what Chaps was saying about women will go online and see other women say do this, but again, the same argument could be had for men. And when you kind of take Andrew Tate, he had a massive following of men that would move in to what he was saying. Do you understand? Right. So I think it literally, you can swing it that compass can go either way. You have men, just because you may not follow other men online and what they're saying, but there's a big following. Even down to like this whole kind of being in London, there's that whole kind of certain London swag. Where does that come from? Do you understand what I'm saying? Someone projected that, and people dress a certain way. Am I lying? Do you know what I'm saying? So again, and when like Leon's talking about having more kind of understanding of his emotions and stuff, being able to kind of speak a little bit more about how he's feeling and whatever.
The circle he's around,
I just feel like, London, there is that kind of don't snitch kind of mentality. Can't talk about your feelings.
You can't be emotional.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of black men are suffering because of it. Do you understand? So, and going through trauma and can't talk, and because we've built this whole society that people must suffer in silence. Like, do you understand? And I've always kind of attributed it to, like childhood. Say you're getting beaten and your parents are going, "Don't cry. What you crying for? Like, what you crying for?" But I'm crying because it hurts. If something hurts, I can cry. No. You're teaching me that whole, you can hit me, I can feel pain and not cry. So it's almost like we've built up this resilience to pain. I can't cry, I can't do this, I can't do that. But actually that's toxic in itself. So and that for me is kind of where it just doesn't enable us to have healthy relationships with healthy boundaries, because actually we're so confused in ourselves. And actually, when you're talking about self-love, those are the type of things that self-love, you need to be able to talk about how you're feeling and whatever. Like, no one cares. There's not man's a this, he's a that, he's a punk if he's gonna talk about he loves this chick. Or listen, I can tell you stories about man them doing a whole heap of madness. Because they don't talk about it. They be doing the mad stuff. So
listen, I'm not saying that yet. If my buddy comes to me and says to me, "Fam, I'm depressed," like I'm depressed, I feel like I'll do something mad, rare. I will chat to him, but when you've just made these decisions that you're gonna go and do stuff in my head, because I'm logical in it. In my head, I think to myself, if you go and do this mad stuff right now, it's only gonna make things worse. You ain't gonna feel better. Yeah, like what? How have you come to this decision in your head? I will look at you in a mad way, like, bro, you are like, no.
Yeah,
Like,
but the keyword you're using is decision. So that's still going back to it being individual based. You choose what you're doing and what you're not doing.
yeah.
I hear what Traps is saying though. 'Cause man going outside in the bush.
No,
in
I
the yard,
definitely
that's
get
crazy
it, but
stuff.
you know,
Yeah, but that's the thing
That's
that
It's crazy.
that.
Do you know what I mean?
The
I'm gonna go
bush
peek
thing,
through the window. It's good
That's
advice to say allow
the
it. innit?
bush
Yeah.
thing, the man them are never gonna tell the man and that's what's going on. It's gonna be
Exactly
like,
it. That's exactly.
that's exactly what
That's
Jay
exactly
said.
it.
That's exactly what Jay said. She
We're
said
saying a
that
couple
too.
men are on
She
that.
said, just because she doesn't say it doesn't mean
Oh,
nothing.
Ferns, allow it. Ferns, allow it.
And no confession. Listen,
I've known
if
that happen.
certain, if
That's
yeah, if certain man had
Yeah.
to confess, like
Oh, yeah,
literally, some of the confessions,
Yeah,
my
man.
friend, you
No,
know,
like-
Let's hear. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah?
I wanna
Are you
hear
seeing
it.
the same
you
time?
want to hear some of the confessions?
What? Jay, is it?
Absolutely not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
We're in big trouble if we
It's
speak.
literally that. It's literally that. You understand? You have to sit there with a tear in your eye going, right.
I can't lie. If you're
That's
gonna tell
moving
stories, you
mad.
might as well say names as well. It's not like
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I was gonna
That's
say.
all gonna
pull out.
Oh,
That's gonna pull out.
Wait.
Jay, they're praying on your downfall. Just close your mouth.
God forbid. God
But
forbid.
disclaimer, disclaimer.
This will be her last show. Bro.
Hey, do you know what's another mad thing as well? Yeah, is that you see? Alright, cool. Say if Rhino said to me, "Listen, yeah, this girl's pissing me off. I'm gonna go jump in the bush and see what I want." Yeah.
Wait, can we use another
I-
example? Why are we using the bush
I-
thing? Use another
at the same
example.
time-
The bush thing's crazy.
The bush is real, fam. That's
I
peak.
just come out of
It's
nowhere.
real.
Like, I just say,
The bush
The
is
bush is
real.
real and it will happen.
at the
The
same
bush
time,
is real.
I would be on the phone to Leon, be like, "Leon, you know Ryan's going to jump in the bush. Yeah, he's finished, fam. He's finished."
And I'm the bridges for you, Rhino, yo, trust me, level-headed, just allow it, fam, allow it. Let me just, you know what I mean?
And
So-
people, it's hypothetical, yeah. That just hasn't happened.
what's
You know what I mean?
There's something, hey, but you know what the man needs to understand though? There's some females out there that might find that attractive, bro. You can't-
True.
Yeah.
They might find that
Right.
romantic.
No
Right.
way.
It's like pulling up. It's like pulling.
Yeah.
It's like pulling up. No, but you never know, like, bro. Like, it's like pulling up and playing a little guitar outside the crib. Like,
Bro.
like, that's good.
There's no
Like,
way.
pop out the guitar,
I would
live with a rose
rose
in his
female
mouth.
done that to me, bro.
Different.
So imagine a man doing that to a female.
Of course, that and it's down to.
Oh, what
person.
a female's done it to you, Frets?
Not like in the bush, but when I pulled up to my bed and I thought no one was outside my bed and it was late, all I just see, so why you not answering your calls? I'm like, fam!
What man said come out the darkness? Come out the darkness, yeah?
And then, you know the one, yeah?
Yeah.
You're angry because they scared you. And you're like, bro, just get in the house. Don't even mad. Like, it's annoying, bro.
Man said she walked out the shadows, you know? Crazy.
Literally.
Man said,
like,
whoa! Why not answer my call? That's nuts, bro. It's real life, though. It's real life. I
You know
can't
what,
lie.
though? You know what? Just to touch on what Jay was saying as well, I feel like the older we get, like obviously the fact that we're doing this podcast now is kind of going to give an example of what I'm saying, isn't it? Like it's about the growth because like back in the day, don't get it twisted. Like obviously, I'm from Nottingham, minute. It's not like a South City or nothing. Do you know what I mean? There are blocks and there are people and things or whatever, blah blah blah. But if you went back in the day, if I walked on, let's just say I walked into the hood or something, I said to people, "Yo, I like this girl, rare," and I start crying or something. Obviously, man, are gonna laugh at me, innit? Do you know what I mean? But as you grow older, you start to evolve and get them people around you where you can have them kind of converse. But at the same time, I hear where Traps is coming from. There's a level of where you can, do you know what I'm saying? Where man just look at you and say, "Yo, bro, like, do you know what I mean? Like, come on now." Do you know what I mean?
No, it's definitely that.
This is where I think
It's
I'm a bit
definitely that,
immature as well, yeah. Because, bro, you see, if you do any of that fuckery, don't think you could ever have chat for me in any argument.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
throwing it back in your face. I'm definitely
That's
throwing it
why
back.
I'm-
Those guys.
They're not going to talk. They're not going to tell you.
They're not going to tell you.
I
Half
keep
of them.
saying
are.
it.
tell you again.
Listen,
I'll be like, listen,
You-
don't
you
talk to
see
me like
what-
that after you was outside the bush for 5 hours, bro. You can't talk to me like this.
do you know what the joke is? Yeah, men will lay down with their women and tell them their deepest. Don't get this twisted. Yeah, or you see, like if you've got a female friend, and they trust her, they will tell them their deepest, like literally. So some of the stories are wild. So again, you know, like, but do you know what I can't, how I look at it is that because of the egos, the male egos, and the lack of understanding within the male kind of species, man, are just not confessing. They're not confessing.
Do you know what? That's the truth. They only confess about their issues to certain man they feel they can. Because I've been the person that bare man's brethren in the past have said, yeah, nah, bro, she's making me feel man. I'm like, bro, you need to chill. And then obviously after some time they would chill. But then there's times where they're like, nah, bro, I got you, like, and then like you're kind of involved in a way, because then there's been a time where I'm chilling off and my friend's like, yo, bro, I'm stuck somewhere, can you order me a cab? And I'll order a cab, but it's not to his address. And then I'll find out 10 minutes later, I need to leave, I need to order me a cab. I'm like, all right, cool. Thinking he's in danger, to find out the next morning, yeah, I went to her house, man, she was moving mad. Thinking, what, bro? Don't get me involved in your shit.
Wait till the morning, man.
They say conspiracy. That's crazy.
Don't get me wrong. There are times when you've had arguments with girls, it's like, right, man will pull up on you, like just not because man's pulling up on you because man wants to be like man's paranoid or whatever. Man wants to sort this out right now. I ain't doing this. You know what I mean? So, but I just think the older I've got, I've just realized that, bro. Let me tell you this now, these people, they will do whatever it is they want to do. You can't stop it. So why bother? Do you know what I mean? Just act accordingly.
You know what? The older I get, I don't hold anything no more. You know, I don't hold on to nothing no more, man. I can't be asked. I just want.
Man, it's too much.
Too much energy, man.
You know what?
Too much.
And
too much for the energy.
And the older we get, we should be kind of growing in wisdom and picking our social circles a lot better than we do. Do you understand?
Definitely.
So, I mean, than we did when we were younger. So again, for me, I'm just on that whole kind of thing. If you look at your social circle, they are a group of people that you identify yourselves to fit in with. So if you don't like that social group that you link with, that you hang with, you feel they move shady, then you need to look at yourself, because you feel like a connection with these people. So, and their toxic traits and whatever they're going through. So awkward conversations, but it is what it is. Your social circle is always attributed to who you see, how you see yourself, the people that you see within yourself. So
you have to try and keep different experiences in there as well. Like one of my brethren is Jamaican Muslim, married, innit? One of my other brethren isn't. One of my other brethren is older. One of my other brethren is younger. Do you know what I mean? So you need that them experiences around you as well, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So I hear that.
No, 100%. 100%. Let me just read this comment from C-Star. He says, humans are toxic. No one's perfect. Again, life is a journey and full of lessons. But I feel socials has got us throwing the blame game from gender to gender. 100%. That's why I throw it in there, because it just entices for a spicy conversation. You feel me? And then he asks question, what is toxic? And is it perspective based? Genuine question. And that's what we're going to close up on. 5 minutes, people. We're going to close out. Make sure you lot are liking the video. Listen, last week or the week, whenever the week was, we had loads of likes, and I've realized now when I don't ask for likes, you lot are stingy. You lot are not trying to give up the likes. So what? I have to ask for it for you lot to give it. All right, cool. Can you lot like the video, please? Yeah. Even if you're just coming in to like the video. But yeah, Leon, go on. You said it's a good question. We'll go to Leon and we'll just go around. Leon, Jay, Frets, Vicky, Traps, and the Firms, and then we close up.
Yeah, man. I thought you were gonna hit them with some real, like, stick it on them then about the likes. The man just come with a nice thing, like, can you like?
Go on, then do it for me.
Hey, yo, people, like the video, man. This is unique content, man. This is red pill. What is it? Red pill, blue pill, content, bro. We only do this on Sundays, people. It's gonna get bigger in it. So like up the video, man. And also respect to men and women coming on the pod and chatting as well. Respect.
100%.
Everything. This is why I judge every single person I meet in my life, friend, acquaintance, business, woman, man, whatever, do you know what I mean, as on an individual basis, because like, what do they say, is it a perspective based? It's down to how much you tolerate as well and what your values are, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, who said it before about, was it Ferns that said some women will like it when you're in the bush? Some women won't like it when you're in the bush. So
I pause.
Big pause. Play the thing.
I don't even have that yet. I don't have it. You're lucky. I don't have it. I'm gonna download it. Of course, women like it when you're in the bush. Of course.
I can't speak for it. Anyway, was gonna say, yeah. Anyway,
Confessions.
I was not gonna say.
Yeah, big up Devo as well, man. Big up, man. My guy, man. What's the word, bro? What's the word?
Trust
Yeah,
me.
go
But
on,
yeah, just
Lil.
to wrap it, I think Ryan, you threw me off completely, man. I think it's
It's you saying that women like it when you were in the bush. So I'm just repeating what you said. You feel me?
Yeah, it's down to what you think. I feel like law of attraction is huge as well, you know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a big thing, man. Like, the energy I put out, I get back in it. Do you know what I mean? And that's just the way it runs for me in it. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta say, really. But I think that we got a responsibility still to play to pass on some good examples to the next gen as well. Cause I look about 3-4 years younger than me. I look at like mid-20s to below. Yeah, I don't recognize the next generation, man. I really don't recognize them, the way they out of each other, the way their energy is, their attitude. I just look at them and I'm like, how are you ever gonna hold anything down, man? These are crazy, they're wilding out. But yeah, man, that's me.
Yeah, facts. So we can move on to Jay. What's your opinion on this question? Let me keep it up here. What is toxic and is it perspective based?
I think toxic is just anything, really, to be honest, that comes in like with negative behaviors, attitudes. Again, that unhealthy behaviors and attitudes, you can put it down to. So all of that shouting shows lack of communication skills for me. So if you can't talk, I just don't understand, like what's happening. So, but again, it's really about kind of people's styles, what they've learned through their kind of personal experiences that they've gone through life. And I remember one time I worked with a woman, she had this habit of any time something didn't go her way, she'd just break down into tears. Like literally just turn it on like quick with like tears flowing. And I was just, and it wasn't till I kind of brought it to her attention. She was just like, wow, no one had actually told me about that before. I'm just like, as soon as I say something, she if it's her way or the highway. So if you say no to her, she go, oh, like, what am I gonna do? So, and it was just like, no, like you actually need to stop crying and we're gonna work on something else. So it wasn't, and I was just like, why do you do this? Like, but again, until people recognize it, and it takes with that kind of, that's it. And you need to be open to doing work on yourself because no one's perfect. So again, that self-love starts from looking at your weaknesses and be like, okay, where do I lack, and trying to strengthen. We're not going to be able to strengthen everything, but actually if you know who your weaknesses are, you can always also work out who you will be vulnerable to. Because certain people, if you don't know, like say if one of my weaknesses was I lacked confidence, and I bucked up with a man now who's going to be like, oh, I don't like that, I don't like it when you do this, that's already putting me in a vulnerable state. So I need to know that that's a vulnerability for me. Or again, it might be that you're a loyal person. Now, how far will your loyalty be compromised if you're with somebody who just takes the piss with it all the time? So again, it really is for me, that kind of toxic is anything that's unhealthy, that would be deemed as unhealthy. That's lack of no communication. Again, that whole kind of when somebody puts you on silent, and you know what I mean, and silent, and again, just airing you or whatever, that's unhealthy. Because really, you should be able to communicate and just say how you're feeling. Like, I felt away when you did this to me, instead of just airing them. And then you can take it and just say, for that reason, I'm moving myself out of this situation. But people just don't know how to communicate with each other. So I feel that, again, that for me is what it is. And your experiences will also deem what you seem as an acceptable level of toxic behavior. Do you understand? So for me, I never saw my mum and dad shouting at each other. So a man to come and shout at me, I feel the living disrespect. Like, are you mad? Like, because I'm not going to shout at you. I'm not going to shout because I just don't feel that that's a healthy way to communicate. So I expect the same behaviors back. So for me, all of that, I think, that's my view.
Yo, and just to add one more, Rhino, just to add one thing.
Go on.
You know what I was going to say, what triggered from that, it's hard to look in the mirror, and develop yourself. That's a difficult thing to do. Do you know what I'm saying? To actually look in the mirror and be like, and to realize and to understand and work on them things. So yeah, big up Jay, that was good stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I think Jay broke that down well. Big up Lexi, my peoples. Yeah, from the US as well. She says, yes, toxic perspectives can be subjective and based on individual experiences and values. What one person may consider toxic, another person may not. And that kind of alludes to a conversation that we had earlier on in the show. She also says it's important to trust your own judgment and feelings when determining if something or someone is toxic for you. 100%. Big up, Lexi. Make sure you like the video. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'll be pissed if you haven't subscribed. But if you haven't, please subscribe, post notifications on. Frets, go on, man. What's your response to C Star's question? What is toxic? Is it perspective based?
Well, to be honest, I feel like it comes down to just behavior traits and that. I think it was Jay saying, or someone else was saying, depends what you see as toxic and what you don't. Because, like I was saying before, when you're trying to sort something out with someone and you're trying to reach out to them and they're not hearing it, that can come across as toxic because now they've got a caller, no caller IDs or your number, depending if you're blocked or not. And no, for real. And
it's real life. It's real life.
You gotta just set boundaries, man. Boundaries is important when you get to a certain age. And if you and someone don't like, don't correlate in the certain way where you can understand each other, like. Yeah, like if you don't sync telepathically, where we should know how one moves, or you should know. Okay, cool. Let me just chill out. Or they don't. I don't feel like they fuck with me when I'm doing this. Let me just chill out. Then it will work. But most people don't. They think, no, why is this happening? I need to sort this out. And then they go. Yeah, they're compromising. They use their intrusive thoughts really, and just be like, fuck, I'm doing this way. That's why you get the Bush moments. That's why you get the no caller moments. That's why you get the pulling up outside your house and that. You need to talk and that. And I feel like that's where people just don't lay down their boundaries. It's like, bro, if you move like this, I'm not on this. Or listen, if this is how you are, not to say let me know, but I don't feel like I can work with this. And some people can't, because some people don't really have the confidence to kind of lay down their boundaries. They'll think that people should just know their boundaries over time because people grow up in life, but no one don't know how to conform in their own boundaries. They might just move mad. Someone might just pull up to your house and be like, yeah, man, I want to speak to you. And you're like, bro, what the hell? And that's a bit a lot. So for me, in that case, it's just boundaries.
So do you think that if you was to put yourself in a hypothetical and someone, obviously you've already explained you had a situation where someone pulled up on you, is like, bro, I think you said, why you not answering the phone or something? Yeah. They asked you a question. So at that point, do you then kind of say, let's say you weren't mentally ready to kind of have the conversation, would you then kind of compromise and say, okay, you know what, we're here now, let's talk? How would you deal with it quickly? And then we move on to Vicky.
In that aspect, just to save myself the embarrassment, depending where it is, if it's outside my street or it's like right outside my door or it's an animated scenario, I'm just gonna conform and be like, all right, let's just try to sort it out. But on a normal, like before I got to the space that I'm at now, I would have been like, bro, you're moving mad and walked off, or I'd have been a bit more animated and be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And obviously you learn from that. So I just feel like, yeah, you just have to be like, all right, cool, let's just sort this out. Because you've obviously gone out your way to do this, so you must feel a way about it. That's what I bring it down to, innit?
100%. And Vicky, quickly, your quick thoughts on this question, what that C-Star asked about what is toxic.
Yeah, so mine is definitely quick as well, because Jay pretty much summed it up. I feel like toxicity is definitely 100%. A spectrum of unhealthy actions and weaknesses, and it's just based on how they're addressed or worked on both ends, to be honest.
Oh, perfect. Short and sweet, man. No, 100%. Jay did put that really well, and I think everyone else has added a few layers to that as well that are very key. What about you, Traps, man? What are you saying?
I think they're right. I think it's down to tolerance, really. It's like what you think toxic is another person might think it's not toxic. Another person might think it's expressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Same way.
Might translate that into how deep you love them or how far you're willing to go. They might translate that to something different. But I think that toxic, at the end of the day, toxic is obviously toxic behavior is just toxic behavior, and there's no sort of, it's not, I don't think it's subjective. I think that if if there's guidelines to being toxic, there could be guidelines to being toxic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in terms of tolerance and breaking point, I think that is subjective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's definitely within the eyes of the beholder, because that just depends on how much you want to take. And I think it's important. It's very interesting. You say that could be someone's form of communication. So when Threats had this situation where someone pulled up, maybe she just wanted to chat. It might not be another way that someone else agrees with, but she just wants to talk. And obviously it depends on how she's doing it as well. If she's coming on a hype thing, angry, whatever, cool. If she's coming on a, you know what, cool, you weren't picking up, but please, I just want to chat, whatever. Everyone has their different forms of communication. Big up Monte as well, my guy. Big up, man. Come on, salute. Firms, are you in the building, man? What's your quick opinions? And I'm gonna wrap the sum up still.
Bro, everyone's basically said it, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally what everyone's saying, man.
Your style in it, like, yep, everything's said, you know.
Yeah,
what?
everything's
Cool.
said, bro. Everything's said. Everyone's nailed it, bro. If I say anything, I'll just be rewording what everyone said, literally. But
Yeah,
man, I agree.
Yeah, 100%. Big up Chinks as well. He was unavailable, otherwise he will be here as well. You're watching on Twitter as well. If you guys are watching on Twitter, make sure you can head over to YouTube, like the video. If you're watching on Twitch as well, head over to YouTube and like the video. Yeah, Monte, you're late, my broski, man. An hour and 30 minutes late. But basically, we're asking about what time is it?
Monte.
Yeah, big up Chinks. Monte's in America as well. I think you're CST, so man, you're.
PST.
Oh, he's PST.
Yeah, 8 hours.
Okay. Oh, he's the 8 hours. Yeah, what, like California and them places and that. That's
Yeah.
Yo, Rhino, big up Chinks as well, man. For his
big up Chinks.
That platform and that. I've been watching their reels and that, man. Big him up, man.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, you guys check Chinks's Chinks Faces content.
Come on.
Yeah. He's here normally every week as well, but when he's not available, he's not here. You can catch him on a lot of good podcasts as well. And I like he's got a raw, like, no BS opinion. And
I've been asking for your Chinks.
Oh, is it Vicky? Oh, Vicky's been asking for you, Chinks.
The man them safe circle, man. I rate it, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. 225. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 8 hours, just like Firm said. Yeah, man. I feel like everyone's raised very, very good points. And you know me, I'm always gonna add twists and plots here and there. But realistically, it's about the message that we're all delivering. And I feel like, you get me, like, if you feel something, I think the main thing that I can take from this show today is about setting your boundaries. Once you set your boundaries, you feel me, you're at peace of mind, you know? Protect your energy. That's what I would say. Protect your energy. You don't need to wait to get to an older age to realize that, let me just be myself. You feel me? At the end of the day, like, you just need to be yourself and know what you can tolerate. And when you're in a situation that's not good for you, try and come out of it. I know it's easier said than done. I know people are stuck in cycles, and I know love can be blind to a degree, but try and find your way out of it. Try and tell people to communicate, especially as men. You know, we got the highest suicide rate, so we need to be more vocal. We need to be able to be, you know, you don't always follow the hard traps. You know, sometimes you want to, if you want to be soft, be soft. You feel me? But obviously, I know Traps is a nice person anyway, but he's just talking about what he's growing up from. But at the end of the day, he's probably someone you can still go up to and say, yo, my bro, this is what I'm feeling and whatever. So don't get it misconstrued. You feel me? So at the end of the day, we're all people. It's a family thing. And you feel me? If any of you are going through anything in the chat and you want to hit me up or you want to hit anybody else up, you can DM me on Instagram. You can shout me on Twitter. I will reply, you know, even if this thing kind of gets to a mad stage, I'll still try my best to reply, especially if you're in the chat and you know what I mean. So feel free to share your experiences. Let me know as well, if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what topics you want us to talk about. I think next week we are going to be doing, let me see what I said quickly.
Who's
next
toxic
week,
again? Round 10, yeah? Who's toxic?
Round 10. I wanted to do the part 2 of the BBLs, but it depends how many of my BBL friends I can get on. But let me see. Yuli Frets loves that one, isn't it?
Natural, I'm cool.
Part 2 of I've got a few ideas. We'll see anyway. Obviously, I'll try and do it a day before so you guys can load up. But next Sunday, 9 p.m., make sure you're here. Subscribe to the channel. 4 p.m. EST. If you're in Eastern, 4 p.m. Obviously, if you're PST and whatever, use the EST to work it out. But 9 p.m. GMT UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Big up the panel. Obviously follow FNR Beats on Twitch. Follow them on YouTube as well. Those are my producers that I'm proud of. You feel me? We got some things coming. Trust me. Any sort of instrumental you hear on the countdown, on the intros, is all made by FNR Firms and Rent. So big up. We got some things coming. Like I said, C-Star's in the chat. He's going to be filming some videos. Big up Traps as well. He's got all of that content on Instagram. He's got the shorts as well. Leon's got lots of content on Instagram as well. So make sure you lot hit that up. Vicky, she's doing stuff on Twitch. She's a W gamer. Zeno, Frets is just Frets, you know.
I'm gonna do something.
Yeah, Frets used to be an artist, so we'll see if he brings back that vibe. You know, he's got the dreads on that. He's got the look already, so you can just imagine him bouncing his dreads about you. But yeah, anyway, and big up Jay as well as always. She's always coming.
Oh,
with
Jay,
good
we need you back week with them stories, man. Bring them stories back next week. Sorry.
Oh yeah, she told us about the stories. Yeah, the stories about prison and stuff. Yeah,
Confessions.
Yeah.
Friends, hold it to it, man. Hold it to it, friends.
Yeah, because Jay's worked in prisons before, so she's been privy to a lot of stuff. And if you want to check out that show, Do Men in Prison Deserve Love? Go and watch that and let me know, and we can do a part 2 as well. Maybe get some females that have been jail, get some men that have been jail, and talk about if they fell in love in jail and all that stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Frets is laughing.
That's meant to do. Men in prison deserve love.
Yeah, we did that last
You need
2
to go and
weeks
watch
or
that.
3 weeks ago. Go and watch it. It was lit. It was crazy. It was mad. I can't lie. It was mad. It was going off. But we'll probably do a part 2, man. Yeah, Chinks was there. Listen. Once you know Chinks is there, you know it's crazy. You feel me? So big up, man. But if you guys want to stay after I do the outro, and then we can have a quick wrap up as well. So once I press the outro, you lot stay in this thing, and then we'll talk. If you have something to do, then feel free. But if you can stay for a few minutes or 2, then stay behind after I put the outro. But listen, guys, make sure you like the video. If you're watching this on repeat, leave a comment, like the video as well. If it's your first time to the channel, please subscribe and put post notifications on. Yeah, subscribe or else. You feel me? But yeah, big up, man. We out. Peace.
But that ain't my story. Life won't say sorry. No, you're destined for something.